This program is sponsored by Greko Printing and Imaging, the brand Barbershop, Crystal Bright Janitorial, Classics and Beyond Auto Gallery, Able Ideaz, and Beerhead Bar and Eatery.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Comicx and Sci-Fi Season 4. I'm Nick.
I'm Jill.
We've been away for a while, but we're back. We got all kinds of goodies for you.
That's right, COVID couldn't keep us down. We've got 8 new fresh episodes for you guys. I missed you guys. I missed you. It's good to be back.
You. Good to see you, partner. And what better way to start things off with an episode about Marvel to celebrate the release of Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness.
That's right. I'm excited. You excited?
I'm very excited.
Let's do it.
All right, by the vapors of Voltar, let's get strange.
Not that kind of strange.
This is Richie Rollins with Comicx and Sci-Fi at the Motor City Comic Con 2021. I'm standing here with the Deadpool Pikachu. How are you doing today?
Good.
And how long have you been doing this character?
3 months.
How did this come about? What goes on in your mind to create this?
Well, you know, Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool, and he also did the voice of Pikachu, so I thought it'd be a cool mashup.
Did you make this yourself?
I did.
How long did it take you?
Let me see, it took me about 4 or 5 months.
And how much did it cost?
Not a lot. I used bed sheets, pillow toppers, and foam. So not a lot at all.
Do you come here as any other characters?
Not this year, because I spent so much time on this one that I'm just going to show this off for a while.
All right, how long have you been doing cosplay for?
About 8 or 9 years.
What's your favorite one other than this one? What's your favorite one that you have done?
Oh, I made a samurai version of Mortal Kombat Scorpion that did very well.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Calvin. This is Richie Rollins for Comicx and Sci-Fi. Keep on watching and keep on dressing funny.
Hey, comic book geeks and sci-fi freaks, Comic Book Casey coming at you from the Vault of Midnight in Detroit at its new location. I'm here with my man, Keanoa.
Got it.
I got it, all right.
Yeah,
so I told you it sounded like a sports car or something, a foreign car or something. So anyway, man, you guys have been at this new location. You used to be on Library Street. I've been to that location multiple times. This is my first time, I'm sorry to say, coming to this location. It is a lot bigger.
It's a lot bigger. It's close to 3 times the size, I think.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we really love it over here in this space. We get full parking lot. We have really great neighbors by popular demand. Replay Cafe, which you guys have probably heard of, and a couple of coffee shops that are just amazing. We love it over here.
Check it out. So anyway, how did COVID affect, or if any, affect Vault of Midnight? This location was not here yet, but you still have the location on Library Street, and you have the other multiple locations around the state.
Yes, so it affected us just as it did most other retail spots. Obviously, it's detrimental to have people not actually coming in the shop and seeing things and picking them up just offhand. But we did have a dedicated group of subscribers that were picking up books every single month, and we're really thankful to them. Shout out to the subscribers. 2020 was definitely our worst year, but 2021 was our best year, and we're only going to go up from there. And especially at this new location, we are very excited to keep it moving.
Okay, and since we're on that subject, one thing I've always been curious about with all the comic book stores, if there's any consistency with what was the better selling books or book series, get your subscribers and get people coming back for more?
So I think definitely over the past couple of years, the big book of the big two, Marvel, DC, was definitely the X books. Dawn of X series.
Right on.
And so Jonathan Hickman took over the X-Men series and he completely revamped it with House and Powers of X, and that was a huge event. And people have loved it. They've stayed with it, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So X-Men was probably our best-selling book overall. But then we've had our old reliables books like Abbott, which is really dope. Got this one. It's actually done by a local creator.
Oh yeah.
Saladin Ahmed out of Dearborn and everything. Very good stuff. We got a couple of books by James Tynion that are very hot. I think I gave you Something Is Killing the Children.
There we go.
Yeah. Something Is Killing the Children is super hot right now. The Nice House on the Lake is a horror series that DC's putting out. That's also by James Tynion. Is doing a great job. And then, of course, all of our manga is always going off the shelves. We can barely keep it on.
Right.
Books like Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, flying off the shelves every day. Yeah.
Well, that's good to know because in times like this, in difficult times and trying times, it's good to have a little fantasy in our lives, things that we can have an escape, especially when it's not that expensive. This is cheaper than Disneyland for us to just come to a comic book shop, which is my safe haven, you know, my sanctuary, to sometimes just hang out and read the books that I'm not going to buy and then buy the ones I'm going to read later.
Hey everyone, it's Nick from Comicx Beer and Sci-Fi. I'm with Big Louie here, Lou Ferrigno, a living legend. Lou, we love when you come out to Detroit, to Motor City. You always come back. What do you like about coming here?
Well, great, because we have over 70,000 people. The show gets bigger and better every year. What I like about coming here, there's like a family here, and the people are so nice, so genuine. I feel so appreciated because this makes me feel like reliving the Hulk again.
Now, I want to talk about strength training a little bit. You look fantastic. How old are you now?
67.
Okay, what is your fitness routine these days?
I do cardio every day for 30, 40 minutes, and I do weight training for about a half hour, and I'm very consistent how I eat too. It's all about the focus, connect the mind with the body. Very simple.
As you've aged, what have you had to adjust with your training?
Used to train lighter. I would train heavy like I used to. I used to bench 560. But now I just do dumbbells, I do machine, because I don't need to build any more muscle to maintain what I have. But years ago I trained the same but much heavier.
Are you still involved in the bodybuilding community at all?
Oh yeah, I had my contest for a few years. I took all the Arnold Classic, and I support all the bodybuilders, especially when they come here for the show, people that work out. To me it means a lot because when I started, we didn't have that, so everybody feels like I'm giving back to them.
Thanks again, Lou, for talking to us.
Thank
Okay,
you.
have a great show.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
This is the Q from Comicx and Sci-Fi. I'm here with Jayda and Chef Andrew, who's the executive chef of Comicx in Phoenix, Arizona. How's it going today, Chef?
Great. How are you doing today?
All right, I'm doing wonderful. So, Chef, I had the Tiger Street tacos. Those tacos, phenomenal. Can you walk me through the process of that?
So, like I said, our shaved ribeye, of course, seared onions with it on the grill. We'll cook it with our barbecue, our secret barbecue sauce. Top it off with our avocado crema, a little bit of pico de gallo, and cilantro.
What sets this apart is that, like Chef said, the slaw is dry. So what you get is that crunch that you would normally not get if the slaw was wet.
So I'm a vegetarian, and I was looking over the menu, and I was interested in the Veganation, and I was wondering if you can take me through how that is put together.
Start out with our sourdough bread, garlic butter. We do our shiitake mushrooms, roasted red peppers, arugula. We top it off with the garlic aioli and our avocado spread.
She's speechless.
That's good. I think it's great. There's so many great flavors in here. I usually don't like just veggies in my sandwich, but this is really good. It's great flavor. It's not plain. It's got nice texture.
But what's your favorite item on the menu?
So if you look on the menu, I named it the Juggernaut. We're not allowed to obviously name stuff after any Marvel comics or anybody. It is a pulled beef barbacoa on top of 2 patties with provolone. Then I have a bacon, onion, bourbon, mushroom jam. I had to go through about a 1.5 year process to narrow it down to the right flavor I wanted.
This has been the Q from Comicx and Sci-Fi with the phenomenal Chef Andre. Thanks again for sharing your menu and sharing your experience.
Thank you for coming in, guys. I appreciate everything.
Greetings, mortals. I am Thor's dim-witted but equally attractive third cousin, Thud, the god of blunder.
So tell me, guys, what do you think of the con this year?
Oh, it's awesome. It's shocking.
Hey, Rhino.
Lots of room for me to run through.
It's too good of a hiding ground for Spider-Man. He seems like there's no Spider-Man here at all, but we're gonna find him. What other 2 of the Sinister Six are you guys waiting for?
We got a Doc Ock and a Craven.
What is taking them so long?
I don't know. There's more room to park this year, so they can't use parking as an excuse.
Supervillains need to park their cars just like everyone else. So tell me, guys, what gave you the ideas to come up with these the cool concept of your costumes?
We like Marvel a lot, and we wanted a cool group.
So, like, how long did it take you to make this costume?
The headdress took 2 nights after work. I'm super bad at sewing. I didn't sew this. I got a bodysuit and I tried to modify it. So I had to make a costume without making it accurate, but making it recognizable. It was just, how can I do this without sewing?
I'm here with Sarah, who's dressed as Lady Thor.
It's just Thor.
Just Thor. So, like, how long did it take you to come up with this costume?
Not very long, because I was already Thor in a parade last year, so I just had to update it.
I'm here with the Juggernaut. How you doing, Juggernaut?
How's it going? I got my eye on every single Wolverine out here. I've got my eye on every single Spider-Man villain. The Rhino really thinks that he can take me. That's not gonna happen.
What is this helmet made out of?
It's a trash can lid. Everybody else, it always ends up being kind of pointy or whatever. Perfect around.
I must return back to Asgard. My cousin Loki is throwing his brother a surprise party and needs me to pick up the Chikari on the way.
Joe Johnson here at 20 Front Street in Lake Orion, Michigan, here with Ronny Cox. Pleasure to meet you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Welcome. One of the most iconic scenes in movie history is dueling banjos in Deliverance. Now, with your music background, you played live on set for that?
No.
Or no?
Steve Mandel, who played the piece, taught it to me note for note. So if you go back and look at the movie, I'm playing every note that's on there, and I had an agreement with John Boorman, and we watched that if I missed a note, we'd say don't use that take, because so did I play it? Yes. Is that me on the soundtrack? No.
So right out of the gate, you're in an Oscar-nominated film. I think it was Bert's only Oscar-nominated film. What was your reaction when the movie got the accolades?
My life changed in ways that you couldn't imagine.
Let's go to Beverly Hills Cop. That's a movie that means a lot to the Detroit area because there's quite a few scenes filmed in Detroit. Eddie wore the Mumford t-shirt, which was a Detroit school.
Yeah.
Talk about your involvement with Beverly Hills Cop and working alongside Eddie Murphy.
I've done 3 films with Eddie. I did Beverly Hills Cop, Beverly Hills Cop 2, and then we did another little film called Imagine That together. And I love working with Eddie. And there's something about when you're working in a film that you know while you're doing it that this is going to be a blockbuster film. And it just gives you such sort of confidence, if you will.
I have this memory of going to the movie theater and seeing the cardboard standee of RoboCop and seeing the title RoboCop, and I'm like, what the hell is this? What was your reaction when you saw that title, you saw that script? How did you go from that to being in the movie and making an awesome sci-fi blockbuster?
Well, see, that was another thing, too. Especially in the old days, but there's a great tendency to typecast you. One of the reasons Paul Verhoeven cast me as Dick Jones is because of this residual goodwill that I had sort of as a person in Hollywood. So they looked at my character and he was going to be a good guy. And when Dick Jones turned out not to be a good guy, and then that made him twice as evil. We shot Total Recall in Mexico City. We took over the whole of the Churubusco studios there. So I was playing Vilos Kohoyan, who's the most evil man in the universe. But at the timing got screwed up, and I was also under contract doing I was doing a film. The Canon was doing a production of Captain America. And we were shooting that in Yugoslavia. We were shooting in Dubrovnik, Yugoslavia. So I'm flying, and we're shooting them both at the same time. I'm flying back and forth from Yugoslavia to Mexico City, and Vilos Kohagen is the most evil man in the universe, and the guy in Captain America is the sweetest, nicest president. so I had to sort of look down and see who I was playing.
Hi, I'm Debbie, and you're watching Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi. Stop what you're doing and come check out how we do things here at Able Ideaz Comic Book Production Company. Bet we got your attention. Now go to our YouTube channel to subscribe and follow us on social media. Stay tuned for our uncensored DVD coming soon. And for more information, follow us at ableideas.com where your ideas come to life. Hey, did you hear we're doing another season?
Excellent. Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi crew, assemble. Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi crew, assemble. Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi crew, assemble.
Sam, come on, we have to film.
No, hold on, I'm just kicking his butt. No!
Nick! Well, it's great to have the gang all back.
Be sure to check us out on TV and social media.
Did you miss us?
Welcome back. We've got more Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi.
Things just got out of hand. Well, Doctor Strange was the 5th superhero created by Stan Lee in the early 60s, and he created this character along with Steve Ditko. Now, this pair also created a guy you might have heard of named Spider-Man. These early Stan Lee, Steve Ditko stories are classics. In fact, Steve Ditko was actually more the brains behind this than Stan Lee. And over the years, they've tried to bring this character into the media. There was in the late 70s when Lou Ferrigno had his great Hulk TV show, there was also a short-lived Spider-Man show, a couple of made-for-TV Captain America movies, and there was a Doctor Strange made-for-TV movie. It only aired once. I remember seeing it as a kid, and it scared the hell out of me. All kinds of crazy magic stuff. The special effects were of their time, but you can see this movie on YouTube, and it's a little rough, but it's very entertaining, even though Doctor Strange does have a 70s fro. And then Marvel brought the character back again in an animated film.
What was that? Dormammu. He is coming.
The creatures move with increasing confidence.
Dormammu's influence grows stronger.
Where is it now?
Look who I have with me. It's Doctor Strange himself. This is our good friend, Garrett Urbanik. He is a cosplay costume maker extraordinaire. How long did it take you to make this wonderful costume?
Well, on and off, I'd probably say a good month and a half, 2 months, something like that.
And does that include planning or just construction?
Just construction. Planning took a lot longer, except finding materials and all that other stuff, so yeah.
How long did you know that you were going to do this? As soon as you found out that the movie was coming out and you were planning, or?
Well, let's just put it this way. When I went and saw the Avengers Age of Ultron movie and they said Doctor Strange, my head exploded. And it's only happened twice, when they said Captain America, and then when they said Doctor Strange, I was like, oh, yes.
I think that having people like Garrett here showing us a level of enthusiasm for geekdom everywhere, I think we have to take our hats off. Thank you, sir.
It's Richie Rollins from Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi, and I'm here with an X-person from the X-Men comics. And which character are you being today?
I am Shadowcat from the X-Men comics.
Is this one of your favorite characters?
My favorite Marvel character for sure.
Why did you pick this costume today?
Because I only got to wear this costume in quarantine for my TikToks, and I wanted to wear it out in public, especially since I got a dragon. I'm better known as Violet from The Incredibles, but I also do Disney princesses. I do Carrie White.
So what's it been like not being able to go to cons for so long?
It's different. It definitely was upsetting. I wasn't too thrilled about that, but I knew that it was too dangerous, and we all have to do our part in this. You know, quarantine, social distance, wear the masks, get vaccinated. I actually work at a hospital, and I've been working through the pandemic, so it's been difficult, but I'm glad to be back.
Hey, it's the Bradcast, and I'm here with Samantha, and we're at the Coney Grill Detroit in Tempe. And you know what?
we're going to taste some Tempe brews. This is the Four Peaks Golden Lager.
Smells like a lager.
It's very smooth. This is something you could probably drink all day.
Well, too bad I didn't bring my kilt because this is called the Kilt Lifter. All right, let's see.
Has a nice color.
Yeah, it's got a great caramel color, smells great. It is quite delicious. I mean, this one is a Scottish ale, but it looks like an amber ale, tastes like an amber ale, so smooth. All right, this is the last of the Four Peaks Brewing. What do you got there, Brad?
This is the Joy Bus Wow Wheat. This is something to sit out on the back porch on a cool but warm summer evening and drink until the bonfire turns to embers.
This is the Orange Blossom. And how does this taste today, Brad?
Oh, you can taste it. It has a, smell this. It has a distinct flavor of almost bergamot. This is a Stony IPA, also known as Pebblehead.
All right. I don't normally like IPAs, so let's see how this goes. Wow, that's actually not bitter. It doesn't feel super strong.
So it doesn't have an aftertaste though, right?
It really doesn't. It's actually pretty smooth. I could actually drink this IPA. This is also from Santan Brewing. This is the Galactic IPA, but it's also known as the Moon Juice. How's it taste?
But this has a lot of IPA bitter coming right through. It starts with a citrusy flavor, and then the IPA, the bitters comes right in and gives you one in the chops. They took a lot of time to get this fine citrus hoppy combination. Sam, which one do you like best?
I would have to say the Kilt Lifter. I mean, it has that amber coloring, that amber ale feel and taste. It's so good, so smooth. That's the winner for me.
I think I'm going to go with the Joy Bus Wow Wheat. I didn't know I liked summer shandies or lemonade beers or whatever you want to call them, but it's super tasty, has high drinkability quotient as far as I'm concerned. And you know what? They're both from Four Peaks, so Tempe wins. Well, this is the Bradcast and Samantha, and we're putting the beer in Comicx, beer, and Sci-Fi.
Hey everybody, it's Nick at Great Lakes Comic-Con. I'm here with legendary comic book letterer Tom Orzechowski. You probably remember his name from lettering all those classic X-Men issues written by Chris Claremont and John Byrne and Dave Cockrum. Tom, tell us about the art of lettering. How do you get involved in that, and how did you end up in the comic book industry?
Well, when I was in high school, I took mechanical drawing, architectural drawing, so I was used to precise thinking in the first place. And working for tolerances, working for grid work, and I was part of a comics club when I was a kid, 15 years old, and everyone else could draw better than I could. So I figured, well, what don't they want to do? Because I want to be part of this gang anyway. So I took up the lettering, and I edited the scripts a bit. And when I was 19, I got a call from a friend of mine who became an editor at Marvel, who was about 20 or 21 years old at the time. And he said, if you can get here in a week, you can have a desk in the office. So, yeah, I was there in a week. And at that time, Stan Lee was still there every day running the place. Roy Thomas was the editor. John Romita was the art director. It was like all of my heroes from my younger days every day. It's just awesome. I mean, that's a true word for this instance. It was just incredible. Among people who were so gifted, who I grew up admiring. And I met Claremont at that same time in '73. Okay. And 2 years later, X-Men debuted in 75. And so they sent me the first issue just by accident, kind of. It was just the next job in the stack to be done. And I was in New York not long after and hooked up with Chris again. And they kind of finessed me onto the book full time by about issue 110, 112. And I stayed 18 years.
Okay, and I want to come back to the X-Men in a moment, but I wanted to ask you, I read that you were responsible for certain innovations and maybe different types of balloons for different types of characters. Is that true?
I did like to mess around because if you're dealing with a flame being, I figured, well, let's have a little more of a scorching aspect to the balloons. And I played around. I wasn't the first one to do so. But X-Men was such a wild book, and Byrne was just on fire himself.
Yes.
And then Romita Jr. and Silvestri and Claremont. The energy pumped into that book was just staggering.
I always equated with John Byrne and Chris Claremont. When they were together, they were kind of like a Lennon-McCartney. They're great on their own, but together there was some magic going on. What do you think what did they have with each other that was so special?
I think they hated each other.
Like Lennon-McCartney, no?
Yeah, exactly so. And so that tension, Byrne wanted to do things one way, Chris had other things in mind, and so, as with Lee and Kirby, Jack would draw things from his point of view, and Stan would insert all sorts of additional stuff into the scripts. And likewise, Chris, who was not shy about doing scripting, heavy scripts, very heavy scripts, which I loved that book. I had a great time doing that book. And when Chris left Marvel to do other things, I went to him with him to Dark Horse for Aliens vs. Predator, went to him for DC for another series. And anytime, if he calls me tonight, I'll be working for him first thing tomorrow.
Tell us about how hand lettering evolved into digital lettering, and how did you adapt to that?
I've adapted pretty poorly. I'm competent, I'm adequate. They keep giving me work at DC these days. But it's a gig, you know. Meanwhile, I'm still working with all the recognizable characters. I'm doing Green Lantern. Lately, I've done Superman recently.
Awesome. Tom, thanks so much for talking to us.
My pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
This is Richie Rollins, Comic Experience Sci-Fi, coming to you from the Motor City Comic Con. I'm sitting here with Jordan, otherwise known as Doc Ock. How are you doing today, mister?
Good.
And you are a professional cosplayer, I would take it, because you've been on our show before.
No, I'm just lucky, I think.
All right. And this year, why did you choose this character this year?
Well, so my son is a Spider-Man. He's 16 months old. He's not very happy right now. And then my wife wanted to do Ghost Spider.
All right. Well, what went into making all this?
So it's all PVC skeleton, then the tubing, and then if you look at the back, it all attaches back there. So it's all like there's a piece of wood in the backpack to hold the couplers on, and then it's a lot of glue and a lot of tape.
How long did it take you to make this?
Less than 10 hours.
What's the cost of something like this?
Under 40 probably for all the pieces.
Wow, this might be the cheapest cosplay outfit we've ever seen.
I don't spend a lot of money, mostly because they fall apart and then I never wear them again.
How'd you feel about coming back to the Comic-Con after about almost 2 years off?
I was excited. So it's my son's first one. He's not as excited as we'd hoped, but he's a little distracted with everything and a little overwhelmed, I think. But very excited to be back here.
Well, it's exciting to see you again, Jordan. Glad to see you doing well. And thank you. And this is Rich from Comic Experience Sci-Fi.
Oh, what a great episode. It's so good to be back. We want to thank Bolt of Midnight for hosting us this week.
Yes, awesome. I love it. And if you guys love it and you want to see more Marvel footage, go to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, too.
And tune in next week. Motor City Comic Con is back. We're going to be covering it. We're going to be showing you highlights from all the years of us attending that show.
Yeah, so thank you guys for joining us. And we'll catch you next week.